Hey guys, welcome back to the Sal Pitera channel, and today we're going to talk about something tragic. It's happened yet again, and this time it's happened to a child. Yes, somebody else fell off the ship, and I'm going to tell you all about it right after this. Hey guys, welcome back, and in a minute I'm going to tell you what happened aboard Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas and what makes this accident so tragic. But before we do, we start all of our videos by please ask you to subscribe to our channel, click the little bell notification, and then you'll know whenever we upload a new video. So it happened again last weekend on Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas, and this time what makes it so bad is that it was a child. And not only was it a child that fell off the ship, but in a way that was just absolutely, completely avoidable had they have just exercised a little bit of common sense. So the Harmony of the Seas was docked in Labadee, Haiti, when 8-year-old Lauren Mercer from the French Isles of Wallis and Futuna in the Southern Pacific was trying to get into his room. And according to reports, he had left his room key somewhere on the ship and didn't have access to his door. So for some reason, and we don't know if he was told to do it or if he took it on his own accord, but I guess he thought the right way to get into his room, rather than walking down to the information desk and just getting a new key, would be to climb from an adjacent balcony onto his balcony. And as he was doing that, the medical examiner says that he lost his footing and fell off the ship. Now the ship was still in port, so he fell off the 8th floor, landed on the dock. Of course, the ship's medical team rushed out to him. They did provide CPR to him, but with the head injuries that he sustained, he did pass away. And this is just absolutely senseless. Can't imagine why this happened. What would make anybody, and he was 16 years old, so you would think that he would know better by that age, that you just don't do that. And it's such a tragedy, I don't even know what to think of it. Cruise ships are inherently safe, and we're going to talk about in a minute ways for you to stay safe and to keep your family safe on board a cruise ship. But tragically, this isn't the only event in recent news that they've had at the Harmony of the Seas. And it just doesn't make sense that so many people are falling overboard lately. On Christmas Day, if you remember, one of their crewmates, an entertainer on board, was never found after he fell off the ship and failed to report for duty. And they searched and searched for him and couldn't find him. And it just seems like this is happening more and more often lately. So now, let's talk about it, because really traveling on a cruise ship is actually very safe. And while you may hear news reports like today, and it's certainly tragic that it happened to a teenager, the odds of it actually happening to somebody you know or your family while on board a cruise ship with all the millions and millions of people that sail every year is actually very, very small. But let's talk about for a minute ways to keep your family safe on your next cruise. Okay, so let's talk about it. First of all, I've been on lots and lots of cruises, as you know, and my children have been sailing on board cruise ships since before they could talk. And they've grown up sailing almost every year since, so they've grown up in a safe environment. And I think what really keeps my family safe, and most every other family safe, is we abide by a few rules when it comes to falling overboard. First of all, more than anything, I suggest that please take these 5 things or 6 things I'm about to tell you, write them down and talk to your family about them. Even the kids, talk to them, set these rules into place, the kids and the adults, and I promise you, if you do, you won't have any issues. The first thing is never, ever, ever climb from one stateroom to the other by going through the balconies. Now, up until this weekend and this news report, I never thought this would actually be on the list, because I've done this list before and this hasn't been on it. But after today, I guess we have to add it. If you lock yourself out of your room and you have access to an adjacent stateroom, don't decide to go into one stateroom and climb the outside of the ship to get onto your balcony to get into your stateroom. It's not safe go to the information desk. They're not going to charge you. They'll give you another key. It only takes a few minutes and really could be the difference between life and death. Number 2 is pretty simple. Don't drink too much that you're not even going to know where that ledge is. So it's fun. Everybody drinks on a cruise ship. I know I do, and I've even gotten somewhat intoxicated on a cruise ship. But I will never get so intoxicated that I don't know the limits and where I'm at and my surroundings on the cruise ship. And I have rule number 1. If I've been drinking more than 2 drinks, I don't go outside anymore for the rest of the evening. There's plenty of things to do and see inside the cruise ship, and if you drink way too much, that's certainly going to affect your judgment, and you don't want to go anywhere near those railings once you've been drinking. Okay, third, and I know Titanic made this like a big thing, but never take a selfie or any Titanic moments on board a cruise ship. There's never a reason to sit on a railing or to bend over on a railing in order to take a selfie. Don't do it. You don't know what's going to happen on a cruise ship. You could get hit by a rogue wave at the exact moment that you sit up there, and it's just not worth losing your life over a picture. And let's face it, that picture is going to come out just as good if you're standing on deck a foot or 2 away from the railing. No one's ever going to know the difference on where that camera was. I'm a professional photographer, and I've taken thousands of pictures with the railing in the background, and you really can't see a difference in that photograph. So never sit on a railing, either on your balcony or any of the decks of the cruise ship. Okay, here's another big one. In bad weather, don't go near the railings. Pretty simple. If the weather's bad, you never know what can happen. So if you're right on a railing, even if you're not sitting on it, and a rogue wave were to come or a high wind, it really could take you and lose your balance. You could potentially fall off the cruise ship. So if it's bad weather, stay inside, or if you do have to go outside, because sometimes you got to walk across the Lido deck, just don't go near the railings and you'll be perfectly fine. Number 5, and this is probably another really good one, and even I didn't know this one until recently, but if you're traveling with a significant other or even a friend and you have an argument, take the argument inside. Because believe it or not, a lot of people that get pushed off a cruise ship are done during arguments by people that you would never have thought would do something like that. But in the heat of the moment, in the heat of anger, you never really know what somebody's capable of, even that person that loves you so much. So if you're having a heated argument, argue inside. You have just as much chance of winning that argument inside as you do outside. And number 6, and this is probably the easiest one, and this is what really could have saved the tragedy that happened this weekend with this 16-year-old, is just use your common sense. It's that simple. You're out at sea, you're on a moving vessel. Use your common sense. If the wind's blowing, don't go next to the railing. If the ship's rocking too much, don't go next to the railing. Don't sit on the railings. Just don't do anything that you really think could possibly put your life in danger or the person with you's life in danger. And as long as you don't, I promise cruising is really the safest form of transportation. If you use your common sense, you're going to be perfectly fine. Now, with that said, I apologize for my voice during this video. The reason you haven't seen me in person, I've had the flu since I've been back from my Caribbean cruise last week, so my voice is a little bit messed up. But I wanted to get this video out to you because I really felt that it was important after hearing this tragedy with his 16-year-old child. So, that being said, thank you for watching my channel. Again, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video or you want other people to know about what happened to this young man, share it on your social media, hit the like button, and I'll see you on your next Caribbean vacation.